Hello everybody. Today, let's talk orchids. I have a beautiful species here. It doesn't really smell anything, but it's so pretty. Do you guys know how to take care of an orchid? This specific orchid is in sphagnum moss. I know because I'm the one that purchases it all the time on Amazon, but it's not for me. Some of my other orchids are in water culture, but I prefer the one in beer culture. Well, that's it from today. Nice and short. Hope everyone has a great day. Bye bye.
Have I ever shown you guys this um, grocery file here, this Nord file? I don't think so. Got this a couple years ago. It skipped flowering for a year or two, and it's finally in flower again, and I couldn't be happier. And those gorgeous blooms. And she sits on my coffee table and gets western light. And she looks like a happy gal. Very tall flower spike. I have this large piece of driftwood here that I purchased at the pet store. I want to have some kind of plant shingle on top of it. Oh, sorry, yeah, shingle on it. I really love the look of shingled plants, and I'm thinking of maybe using a Scindapsus plant. And the Scindapsus, if you guys don't know, is this one right here. So maybe mount it on top, or mount it and then just have it, have it shingle on this driftwood. And I think, no, it's actually not driftwood, it's cork. But it's so beautiful. I love the look of the shingled plant, so I think that would be a good idea. What do you guys think? Many years ago, I saw this Phalaenopsis on Miss Orchid Girl's channel, and I was on a mission to find it. I absolutely fell in love with the zebra design, and I just thought it was so lovely, and I finally was able to find it at a grocery store, out of all places. And now she is in flower, and I couldn't be happier. Look at those blooms, just absolutely gorgeous. So this corner here is my pothos, philodendron, Scindapsus corner, and I've got quite a variety. I'm so obsessed with these plants. I love how easy they are to care for, super easy. And I let the foliage tell me when it's time to water. So pretty much I just ignore it until the leaves start to droop. And then when they droop, I know it's time to water it. So it's fairly easy. And it gets plenty of bright light. Scindapsus is just beautiful. So I can't wait until these plants get full, get huge, lush, and then trail. Oh, it's going to be so gorgeous. And my marble queen pothos right there, you can see it's already starting to trail. Although this one is losing her variegation, which is not good. So I think I might chop this off. These buds are from my Phalaenopsis silibensis. And you can see just the few bottom buds there have blasted. And that's my fault because I moved it. Never move a phalaenopsis when it is in spike or forming buds, because this is what happens. This plant reminds me of a Schilleriana. So I got this plant from, I believe, Fairview Gardens, based out in British Columbia. Amazing family-run business. Yeah, wonderful customer service. But I got it a few years ago, and this is the first flower spike. So I believe this is probably still a seedling. I got it as a small seedling. Well, it's been a few years now, so yeah, it's probably considered a large seedling still. It's not a mature plant yet. As you can see, the leaves are still small. And the flower spike is just an itty bitty little thing. It's so funny. The buds reminded me of little bean sprouts. Super cute. So my little IKEA rack here, where I place a majority of my waterculture phals. All the plants here are in spike. A lot of them are also full of flowers. So the flower spikes are a wonderful addition. I love this one here. So these are just your regular grocery store phals. And some of them have been in spike for over a year. Or it's constantly in bloom, so it's a very colorful area. You can see the aerial roots there just going crazy. And at the back there, one of my favorite blooms. So we woke up this morning to a very wintry scene. So this is the first snowfall of 2019. And my man there is just prepping the van because we sold it. And the new owners will be picking it up later this afternoon. So I'm not too happy about the snowfall, but I know that my dogs are just thrilled. They are Arctic dogs, so this is their element right here. And of course, they're both outside enjoying this wonderful weather, and I'm inside hiding from Mr. Snow. So my holiday cacti are in flower now, and it's always a delight. They're starting to lose some of the older blooms, but new ones are coming. I love this pot here that my mom put together like 10 years ago. She got some cuttings from her friends, and she placed white ones and pink ones, and they've just grown happily together. You can see a random white one there, and it's beautiful. And she only got about, I'd say, 2 cuttings from her friend, and since then it's grown into this beautiful beautiful plant here. But I did cut it back a lot. It would have been a lot bigger had I left it alone, but I propagated a whole bunch, and yeah, it's just this little nice size here, which I can't complain. I like it this size. It's manageable. So this is my button fern, and I purchased it at the same time as I got the other maidenhair fern. It's so cute. I love it. And this is why they call it a button fern, because it looks like little buttons. So cute and fluffy. Not as soft as my maidenhair fern, but still cute. So I have this beautiful saffron colored Noid fowl here that has been with me for a few years, and it is time to repot her into a larger pot. As you can see, her roots are just pretty crazy. And yeah, I'm gonna remove her from her old plastic pot there, and I'm just gonna place her in this larger pot, so I think she's gonna be much happier. And she seems to love growing in bark medium, so I'm just gonna again repot her in bark, and I just want to show you her leaves. She's pretty big. She's a big girl, but not as big as this girl right here. So she's got a new flower spike, and she's also got this mammoth flower spike. She's huge, guys. And she's growing in this flower pot here, which means so much to me because I bought this with my mom, and it's got an orchid design. So pretty. I think we got it like over 10 years ago, that's for sure. And I think we paid like $14.99 at Walmart, something like that. But yeah, this girl here is a beast. Look at that flower spike, insane. This is my Scindapsus, which is growing so beautifully. One of my favorite plants. Just look at that gorgeous leaf. And here is this jukebox that I've been trying to get rid of for years. And my boyfriend won't let me throw it out, so I'm hiding it behind all my plants. Over here is another holiday cactus. And the blooms are starting to fade, so it's been in flower now for about a few weeks. So yeah, put out a pretty good show of flowers this year. Here's my backyard full of snow. And this is a recent purchase, guys. I love it. Not for the flowers so much, but for the leaves. Check out the random variegation on some of the leaves. Oh, that is so pretty. So you can see this one here, it's like half variegated. And then we got this one right here. So I thought that was so cool. $4.99. I bought it a couple days ago at Rona. The flowers are nice, yes, but can't beat the leaves. Just love it. In this little glass jar here, I've got some propagations going on with my succulent string plants. So I'm just propagating them. I've got a string of watermelons, a string of hearts, a string of dolphins. What else do I have there? String of turtles, and I've also got some leaf cuttings of Hoyas and a peperomia and besides the Hoya leaf cutting that I just placed in this glass here a few days ago, everything else has rooted, including the peperonia leaf. So that's cool. I'm thinking of maybe just potting all these different varieties together in one pot. Not the peperonia and the Hoya, just the string plants. Yeah, and just kind of create a mix match of different string drilling plants. Isn't this the cutest Monstera deliciosa plant that you've ever seen? Of course, it's going to outgrow its pot very soon, but I just thought it was so cute. And another propagation project going on. So I was repotting my green pothos, and I accidentally chopped off a huge vine. So I just made cuttings from each node, and they will root. Green pothos are so easy to propagate. And also in this propagation container, I have some Scindapsus cuttings, and as well as that is a Hoya pubicalyx. Oh, that's a hard one. Pubicalyx black dragon, and as well as a Hoya silver. Oh no, Hoya pubicalyx splash. So just rooting that up in water, and then I will pot them up when the roots get a decent size. So this is a grocery store Noid Phalaenopsis that is growing in semi-water culture, and guys, she has a massive root system. She's so beautiful. And this girl has been in flower forever. She doesn't stop. I just love her. Love, love, love. And that is such a gorgeous root system. So I've got a few air plants that I've placed on this driftwood here, and I think it looks rather nice. There's 3 air plants, and I never know how to display them. So I found this random driftwood in my closet, sitting there collecting dust. So I figured, why not put it together? It looks nice. I love the natural elements. Very pretty. You guys like it? But I need to like crazy glue it to the driftwood or something, because that larger air plant there keeps on falling off. And this reminds me, I need to water these air plants, and how I do it is just by soaking it in a small glass of filtered water. Here's my little plant corner in my sunroom. The one at the back there, as you can see, is Maxillaria tenuifolia. Getting lots of bright morning sun, and waiting for my boyfriend to hurry up and finish the sunroom so I can put everything together. Meanwhile, everything is just a mix match of things everywhere. It's a mess. I can't stand it. This right here is my Hoya carnosa, Crimson Queen, I believe. And I just, guys, believe it or not, I just purchased them as little plant cuttings like 5 years ago. And in 5 years, it's grown to become this massive beast. And yeah, I took plenty of cuttings from them. Otherwise, it would have been even bigger. And I need a much taller trellis. But it's growing in this gallon pot that I reused. I love Hoyas. They're just so easy. I pretty much treat them like succulents, believe it or not. Speaking of succulents, look at these cute little babies. So these are all just leaf propagations that I took. And they're growing in those cute little pots. I haven't watered these plants in like a month. I think I need to do that today. My giant Cebu blue pothos, which got repotted recently and also got a hair trim. This plant grows like a beast. But for my Canadian viewers, are these common in your area? Apparently they're pretty rare. So I guess I'm lucky to have one. I got it from Rona, and since then I've never seen it again anywhere. How gorgeous is this prayer plant? So cute. I love the variegation of the leaves. This one right here. That one. There's another one here. And you guys know I bought it for the variegated leaves, right? And coming into bloom is a BLC Golden Chieftain, a cookie eye, which I purchased in 2016. This is the second time that it has flowered for me, but last year I remember the flowers being more orange, and this year it's yeah, very yellow. Two flowers this year. Better than one, but not that impressive. It's alright, I guess. The flowers aren't that showy. But I'll take it. So I know I showed you a clip of my Cebu blue earlier, but so in this flower pot that I'm growing it in, it's got this bald area which doesn't look too pretty, so I want to fill it out. And since it was growing so long, I decided to cut off a couple feet. As you can see, I missed one right there. But I'm placing it in water right here, and I'm just waiting for it to root up, and then I will just keep potting it up in the bare spots, and hopefully I can get a full, beautiful, luscious plant. Here is a Tupperware container full of Wandering Jew cuttings. The old medium which it was potted in was, I think, peat moss, and it was just suffocating the roots. This plant is usually a pretty vigorous, fast grower, but it wasn't growing, so the root system was horrible. So I ended up just taking cuttings off the mother plant and sticking it in here, and got plenty of roots growing. I can show you. Looks a bit nasty, but yeah, within a couple, there you go. Within a couple days, it was shut out new roots very, very quick. So I'm kind of debating whether I want to grow this in medium or grow this in just in plain H2O. Apparently this plant does really well in water. We'll see. But right now I'm kind of leaning towards putting it in a nice pretty vase and just kind of growing it in water. This is my Cattleya corner here, and these are pretty large size Cattleyas. I have another growing shelf where I have my Cattleya seedlings, and there's a lot of that too. But these are the larger ones, and there's quite a few that are currently in bud. But It's nothing really exciting. When they are in full bloom, I'll go ahead and do a separate video, but it's a really nice sunny day here. I'm not a big fan of syngoniums, but I do love the pink ones. And I was able to find one at Rona a few months back. It's so beautiful. Look at this. Oh, don't you love that color? So gorgeous. And it's starting to trail now, as you can see. Very nice. So over here, we have two large Phalaenopsis orchids. They're just the Nord variety that I purchased at my local grocery store and fell in love with the blooms and bought it. And these two are just growing spikes like crazy. So this one here has got a basil keiki, as you can see. I bought it like that. And I left the spikes on. So you can see there's 3 old spikes and they're just pushing out secondary spikes like there's no tomorrow. So here you got 1 spike. On this spike here you got 1, 2, 3 secondary spikes. And over here you've got 1, 2. So there you go, I've counted 5 secondary spikes. And as well, it's growing a new spikes. So 1 main flower spike plus 3 secondary spikes. So I can't wait until it's all in full bloom. It's going to be so pretty. And this one right here is growing a main flower spike. And this one isn't shooting out secondary spikes, but is growing buds on the tips of existing spikes. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need to wash that, sorry. Okay, so I got a little sidetracked there. But yeah, lots of flower spikes, lots of buds. I'm very happy to see that. So yeah, I thought I'd share that with you, and once these bad boys are in full bloom, I'll make sure to do an update. It's going to be fantastic! So it turns out that I'm not that bad with African violets. After so many years of growing them, I keep killing them, but this year, I didn't give up. And they've just been putting out continuous blooms non-stop. And the secret really is to water from the bottom. And so I wait until the leaves go limp, as you can see here. The leaves are soft. So it's time to water, and then I just give it like maybe half a cup of water and just water it from the underside, and it's fantastic. And of course, African violet fertilizer, so that's really important. And this one here is beautiful. Look at that. It's gorgeous. Gorgeous, gorgeous. And since I was on a roll, I decided to propagate some African violets, and I just propagated through water. So just took some leaf cuttings, and then we have this, which is a little crazy. There's so many babies, so I have to separate them, but they're all doing well. I think they'll do better once they're in their own pots. There's lots of babies that are crammed together in one pot. Beautiful, huh? So this shelf right here, it's a temporary shelf in my sunroom. I've got a whole bunch of vandas growing up here, and calumnias, and Neophonetia falcatas. Looks like a crazy mad jungle. But anyways, I've got two vandas that are in full bloom, and they've got plenty of light coming from these dirty ass windows. But yeah, I don't know if you guys can see from that angle, but yeah, two vandas in full bloom, I believe. I haven't taken them down in like over a week, so I've got to water it today. I lost the tags, which really is such a bummer, but it's growing in sphagnum moss, as you can see. And I want to repot it into a larger and more prettier pot, perhaps like a ceramic pot, because these pots that it's staying in right now is just way too light, and the plant itself is really heavy, so it's always toppling over. So I'm always having to tie it to something so it doesn't flop over. Yeah, but so a couple of weeks ago I tried repotting it, but it was kind of difficult because the roots were all attached to this the flower pot there, so I don't know what to do. I'll probably just leave it for now, but eventually I will have to move it. But you can see the roots is just going crazy. Lots of root action going on. The flowers are so pretty. I'll do another update where I will showcase these vandas along with my other vandas and my Rinco Stylus orchids that are currently in spike, and maybe just give you guys like a spike update because I've got quite a few. And finally, to cap off this video, I thought I would do a special shout out to this channel here, Rowan's Plants. She is a Canadian Hoya lover, so she's only got 2 videos on her channel so far. I'm hoping she uploads more. But yeah, if you guys want to go ahead and subscribe to her channel, that would be awesome. She has no idea I'm doing this, but hey! Yeah, so that's it. And it is a very beautiful but frisky day outside. Oh, so cold. -25 Celsius. It's going to be sometime in the next few days, so not looking forward to that. And on that note, I guess I'll say goodbye. Talk to you later, everyone. Bye.